Hi, here's Chris. Today I would like to introduce you my first add-on for Blender. I will show you a small overview in this video. I don't show you all the functions. A complete and detailed video will be published soon, and there you can get an insight into my add-on in detail. Okay. And my add-on is called Shader Buddy. Shader Buddy is a small helper tool to help you working with images and materials in Blender. And you can find it here in the shader editor, also in the image editor and the UV editor. And you have a Shader Buddy in the compositor also. So good. In the Shader Buddy, you have two areas here. You have the image browser and the material browser. I have a small example scene to show you what you can do here. Okay, the image browser here shows you all the images you have in your object or in your scene. At the moment, there are no objects selected, so I don't see any images. So if I select the greeny ghost here, so I can see directly the image of my ghost, the image name, some statistics like image size and so on, and where the image is located. And I get information about the image here, and I get the information about the material that is using this image. So here you see the material is using the image green ghost, this one, and you see which object is using this material. So at the moment, the object greeny, it's this one here, Greeny is selected, so we see this symbol, and if I see on Greeny's brother, it's this one here. So you can select Greeny's brother or Stripey, this one here. So, but if you want, you can select all of them or some with control, or you click here on this icon and you will select all images, or in this case, all objects that are using this image, okay? And also you can see the selected objects are displayed here, and you see all the material that are used in these objects. So for example, the Stripey here uses two materials. You can see them here. If I click on Stripey, it's the greeny material and the stripy material. The stripy material is an orange ghost texture. So I can see it also here, because if I click on the object, I see all the images that are used in the object. So in this case, I see two images are used by two separate materials. In this case, the green image is used here in greeny material, and the orange image is used in orangey material, and also in the stripy material. So we have all the materials here listed and the objects that are using them. It's very handy. Great. Then you have some settings here, like the thumbnail size for the thumbnail. You can set them smaller, or you can set them bigger if you want. And then you have some filters, some quick filters you get. You can see all the images here in the selected objects that are packed, linked, or issues. And issues are, for example, missing files, or not used images, images without users, or fake objects, fake users, such things. Then you can replace the image here, for example, by clicking on this icon. Then you see which image is used, and then you have to select a menu where you can select one of those images, bitmaps, and the bitmap will be then replaced by any bitmap in the scene. If you also want, you can click on change, and you can change the path to this image, and you can replace this image with a different image, for example. Then you have an add button. With this add button, you can add this image, for example, to this material. Here I have the stripy material. The stripy material is using orange ghost. It's this one. So if I click, for example, here on this node, I can say I want to have this image inside my material, and can say add, and the image will be added, and you can plug it in if you want. Then you have a third button here, and you can click on edit, and you can edit the images directly in your external editor you have set here in the preferences. So for example, if you are using Photoshop, so you can edit this image inside the tool. The tool will be opened and the image will be placed there and you can edit it there. Good. So let's come to the scene overview. Here you can see all the images that are used in the whole scene. So you get, if no object is selected, you see all the images in your scene. And it's very interesting because you get some information like this. For example, here you have a packed object here. The blue one is packed, and you can see this icon. It's telling you it's embedded, and some information like image stored in blend file. For images that are on your hard disk, you get the path here, and for images that are packed, you get this information. Good. And then we have some images like this one here, and there you see used in world settings. So you can see it's used in the world. And if you, for example, click on the icon to show the image, so here, you can see it here in the image editor if it's open. If it's not open, this editor will be replaced by the image editor. You can also see images in UV editor. So for example, if I have a UV editor open, I can see my image in the UV editor directly. So that's very handy. So let's come back to the world. So you can see here the world. And if you want, you can click on this object here on the world, and in this case, because this image is not used by any object, by any mesh, you will see the world here. So I open the world area and you can see where the image is here. This is this one, and for example here, when I click on the blue one, we switch to shader editor and you see the blue ghost is used here. Good, this is the thing. And yeah, then we have, so you have a lot of possibilities here in the image browser. The second one is the material browser. In the material browser, you have similar functions, but for materials. So for example, you have the mode for object and the mode for scene. When I click on an object, I see all the materials that are used in this object. For example, here the bluey material is used here in this ghost. Here is the greeny, and if I click on several ghosts here, I see all the materials that are using by this selected objects. In this case, for example, you see the wood material here, this one is used by the woody. It's linked, so you can see the information where the material is linked, and you see also where the ghosts or where the objects are located in which collections, and then you can edit them or do something. So in this case, you can also replace this material by any materials that are in the scene. So you can also replace your materials. In the case of this linked material, you cannot rename it, but if you want, you can click any material here and you can change the name. Also, you have a scene mode. There we have all materials listed in your scene. So you don't have to select any object. You will see all the scene materials here. And if you want, you can also filter them. For example, if I just want to see the greeny, I just have to type in some partial letters and I see just the greeny material. Great. So we can filter by name, for example, or you filter here by this icons. In this case, for example, linked or local, you can also click two of the buttons to see all the categories here. Then you can also click on any object here. For example, if you don't want to have this this orangey material, you can also say you can be here in the scene and you say this one have to also have the bluey, and you can assign it to this object if you want. And now you see the bluey ghost, this one, and the orangey, it was before orange. The orangey uses this blue material, so we can click this between these objects. As you can see, you can switch between them. You can click also several objects with control, or you click on this icon and you select automatically all objects here. This is really handy. Yeah, this here is just the overview over my add-on. I hope you get how it works and maybe you like it. You can find it in one of my shops on Superhive, for example, or on Gumroad. And if you are a friend of Ko-fi, you can go on a Ko-fi and yeah, there you can get it. Good, that's all for today. I hope you have some nice insight in my add-on. Yeah, I hope you can try it out. Thank you for your support and have a nice day. Bye bye.